Future Proof is sponsored by Learn Smart Academy, online revision courses for GCSE and A-Level. All your revision in one place, organised for you, interactive and game-changing.
Hello and welcome to Future Proof. Thank you so much for joining me, Sarah Hopwood, as I now am approaching the end of this Series 8, 20 programmes, sharing some knowledge around business that impacts on life skills as well. And I just really hope that you've enjoyed some of the series. And if you've missed anything, then do search Future Proof on YouTube and you should be able to find it, particularly if you put my name in. If you struggle, just put my name in and it should definitely come up then. So again, I'm going to be filming one of two programs covering the same subject. And the subject that I'm concluding with in this series is the all-important customer service and how to deliver excellent customer care. And before I go to the slides and what have you, I want to kind of position it. And I want to position it with, and if you've watched a previous series when I was using a flip chart, I drew two circles. And the inner circle is your basically core product. That is what you do, the widgets that you sell or the service that you sell, whatever that is. And then the outer circle, which is called product surround. And the business case for working in the product surround area is where all those soft skills, the relationships, the customer service sits. And just in very simple terms, the argument is the core product usually is much the same. And I've often used the example of, say, professional service firms, and if there were 5 in a row and you were trying to choose, for example, where to go to have your will done, then if you went into each building, each professional person would say, we are qualified, we've been around for a long time, we have a good track record, all those things that you could say are givens. And so the way that you would choose who to select out of all the ones that you, if you like, were vetting, your choice would come from what we call the product surround. And that can be anything from how you were made to feel, what the walk into the business looked like, to, you know, I don't know, things that you've seen, maybe things that you've heard. It's all to do with product surround. And in there sits Howard Gardner's 8 intelligences. And I'm going to talk about that as well. So customer service, in my view, doesn't sit so much in core product, which is the inner circle. Customer service is all about relationships. It's the softer skills, if you like, and that sits in the outer circle called the product surround. So how can you beat your competitors? By being highly effective in your product surround, and that's what we're going to look at. So if we don't take care of our customers, somebody else will. Or rule number 2, satisfied customers are your most effective marketing tool. And we will be looking at the loyalty ladder, which I think will come in programme 2. So if you've been following the series, then you'll get the gist of it, that straight away we start off with a customer service gap analysis. And so as a team, you can brainstorm and look at why your customers buy you, and you can do that industry wide. You know, in our industry, what is the most important thing to the people that buy from us and buy from our competitors, for example? And let's think of Amazon or something. You know, it's maybe guaranteed delivery the following day. That could be an industry need that you know helps you punch above your weight, but there could be other things too. So the key thing is to find out and to, if you like, collate everybody's ideas as to why you think your customers buy from you as an industry whole, and you might think of it also maybe geographically. For example, why do people? And it could be because we're all on the same. We're all in the same unit with some other things, so people see coming here as a one-stop shop. That could be an example. You know, that's why we have out-of-town shopping centres, because it's a one-stop shop where people can go and get lots of things. So this is just an example to explain the gap analysis just briefly. It's identifying those key areas and obviously filling in details of it, so you can really look at where you are now and then where you want to be. And then once you've marked those scores, the target score of where you think you need to be to win in the marketplace, you then look at the gap as to where you are now and where you know you need to be. And wherever there is the biggest gap, so you'll see the biggest number between that score now and your target score, and that straight away shows your priorities as to where you need to work first. So the exercise around this is individually spend a few minutes completing this customer audit on your business. And I love this idea about doing it independently and on your own before everybody hears what everybody else has got to say. We can often be misled in boardroom activities when everything is collaborative and everything includes everybody, because you can get this great feeling of achievement and everybody can walk off patting themselves on the back saying, that was a very good meeting, didn't we do well? And what we don't always appreciate is missing the invisible. What other ideas could have come out in that meeting if everybody had worked independently on their own first and then brought their ideas to the table? And in my experience, you get much more by getting people to work independently first and then collating that information. Now, where, how is all about understanding where you are now in the business. Where is your customer service now? Please do vet your existing customers, ask people, and don't just go to your fan club. Do you know, a really good litmus test is, why don't you go to your suppliers and just say, look, I know you don't buy from us, but can I ask you, how good do you think our customer service is? And you never know, they could say, actually, you've got a really good reputation around here. Or they could say, funny you should ask me that. It was only yesterday that so-and-so was moaning about you. You know, you'll get some truth from these people. So do talk to suppliers as well as customers when you are sourcing information. Once you've got some ideas there, then you also can then say, go wider again. Always remember, problem solving has two main phases. The first is divergent. So I always say to people when I'm working with them, we will have a messy boardroom table. And certainly through coaching sessions, I always start off in groups of 3. I'll never just do one on its own, because in problem solving, we go divergent, which leaves a messy boardroom table. So often people go away and I say, don't worry, your mind is going to be buzzing. Make sure you got pen and paper by your bed, because, you know, if you like, the gates are open and your mind you'll be all over the place thinking about what we've discussed and some doors that have been opened. But once you've done, if you like, the magic wand from that and thinking, okay, I've got so much going on in my head now, what are the things that I'd really like to see? What are the new things? What's been holding me back? What's quietly been in my mind going, I wish I could, I wish I could. And it could be from living in another part of the country to having a car, or getting rid of some, I don't know what it is, or reducing your hours. Make sure all that is down on your magic wand list. And then the second phase of problem solving is then convergent, and that will come, and you'll watch us do that. So at the moment we're going divergent, we're brainstorming, we're doing gap analysis, we're mind mapping, we're magic wanding. It's all going divergent, and we'll be going convergent later. So once you've done that, you can then get some ideas on your magic wand, and if you've watched the program before, you'll see that I've mentioned this. We then Pareto it, which is 80-20. When we understand that 20% of what we do, we can create an 80% comeback on that. And it came from an Italian who realised that 80% of the wealth of this country was owned by 20% of the people. And this 80%, 80-20 rule can really help you be effective. So you Pareto your list, you choose your top 20% from that list. You can't look at a list and do everything on it. So pick 20%. And I promise you, when you work on those 20%, then you will have an impact on most, if not all, of the other items that were on the list. If there's a group of you looking to Pareto, then get everybody to do it on their own, in their heads, then give them a pen and they quietly go up and tick their first favourite, second, third, fourth and fifth maybe. And every single time there's 7 or more people above, you will always see clustering. You won't see a tick against one thing. You'll see clusters. 4 or 5 people will tick the same item. And straight away, what does that tell you? It tells you where the priorities is. It tells you where the interest of change is, which supports you driving what you want. So Pareto's good.